shiny happy people, welcome to Kimbaskrafts. My name is Kim, and if you're new here, hello, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back, love you. So yeah, we are going to do a whip and chat, and I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of an update. I know it's been a minute here, and you probably don't recognize this canvas because I started it here, still up where the hospital is, and yeah, I forgot okay, first of all, I never do this, but maybe I should. Oh, you know what? Hold on a second. Let me turn more lights on. It's like really dark in here. I don't know if it'll make a difference, but hold on. Okay, I don't know if that made a difference for you guys, but it made a difference for me. I am in the hotel, and all the lamps, I have literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lamps on, and they don't give off that much light. So yeah, there's that. But anyway, okay, so if you don't know what a whip and chat is, I'm going to work on my current whip, WIP, work in progress. You are encouraged to do the same and or anything else you want to do. I don't care. Take me to the bathroom and, you know, use the toilet. Whatever you are up to today, go ahead and go for it. I am just going to keep you company while you do whatever it is you're up to today. And yeah, so here's the deal, guys. You know, if you're one of my followers, subscribers, blah blah blah, then you know that I was working on Orloa's All That Jazz and Craftably's Shine, and I was going to bring up my rainbow poop. Well, yeah, they didn't make it in the car, all 3 of them. Their drills did, because their drills were in a bag. They were in a huge tote bag with a lot of other diamond painting things. But those 3 canvases I had hanging on hangers. I had all 3 on 2 hangers, and I had them hanging on a cabinet above the bags. And yeah, Bob loaded the car, and I failed to tell him, you know, to grab them. He didn't even know that they were really there. And I was busy like running through the house looking at what else I needed to pack. And I finally said to him, get me out of this house before I pack the whole damn thing. Like, get me out of this house. And so we jumped in the car and we took off, and literally an hour, maybe not an hour, probably more like 40 some minutes into the drive, I was like, I forgot my diamond paintings. And he just looked at me and he was like, you didn't put them in the car? And I'm like, did you see them in the car? I'm like, so yeah, so luckily I had enough forethought. I did something right. I packed my Chuck Pinson to kit up, and I also packed the star ore. It's called Little Angels, and I posted a picture of it on Instagram. I packed that as well, just in case I got through the rainbow poop. Like, this is me being like a little extra and wishful thinking. And but thank God I did that, because I still have 2 canvases to keep me busy, you know, when I have the time and energy, which hasn't been very frequently. So if you are new to my channel, You have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm in a hotel. My husband Bob just had major surgery, and we went kind of far from the home so that he could have this particular surgeon who is a specialist, and thank God we did. Yeah, this is my first time talking about it, and I'm going to tell you that most of the nights I literally would come home and crash. I would come home from the hospital because I'm spending 9 to 10 hours there, and I've been extremely tired, and I would just come home and go right to sleep. Like, well, no, that's a lie. I would come home, do the things, unpack, shower, straighten up, and eat dinner, and then I would pass out. And I would do a little bit of diamond painting in the morning. I would get up a little early, do a little bit of diamond painting in the morning, and not even the first, I don't know how many days. I said 5 days on Instagram, but I meant in the hospital. I did a couple, it took me 3 days to kit this up, this Chuck Pinson, because I did not spend a lot of time on, like I said, I was just so tired. So literally it took me 3 days, and I did nothing on day one. So day one, Bob was with me in the hotel. We drove down, we spent the night in the hotel prior to his surgery. And if you want to know all about his ailment and everything else, there is a whole whip and chat on that. I will just give you the skinny on it. He had a neuroendocrine tumor on the pancreas. He had a failed attempt to remove that in 2021. And he's had multiple issues. He almost died at that other hospital, and I now know why. Like, there's been some development and things revealed on that end, but so the tumor had to come out. It could if it didn't, it could metastasize to the liver and become stage 4 cancer. So yeah, we did not want to go to the first surgeon who failed to actually do anything but almost kill him. So I found this specialist an hour and a half away from our house, and that's where we're at. So my husband had surgery, and honestly, I was kind of like hesitant. I was very hesitant to make this because I didn't really know what I wanted to talk about yet, and it's not because I don't plan on sharing all the things, because I do. You know me, I'm kind of like an open book, and I've been just like diary of the mouth when it comes to my life. But we're still in it. Does that make sense? Like, we're still in it. We're not out of this. It's not a old story. It's not a memory. It's not like, it's currently our life and it's happening. And it's not that I'm like so superstitious, but it's just things are changing on a daily basis. And we don't even really know or understand where we're at. And we're waiting for certain things to happen. And it's just, how it is when you have it was a major surgery, and all the things that can happen. And so it's just like, I was like, I didn't really know what I wanted to say about it because we're still in it, guys. Like, he's not discharged. He hasn't hit some milestones that he has to hit. And, you know, basically, I guess, like, what I'm trying to say is, like, we're not out of the woods, so to speak. So, like, to talk about it, it's kind of, like, I don't really want to. I don't really want to, like, I don't want to say jinx anything, but I don't want to be talking about something and then, you know, it doesn't happen, or it's not, you know, it changes or whatever, and it's upsetting, you know, because it would be. So what I wanted, but I you know, I don't want to just come on here and be like, things are great, everything's great, and not really talk about it at all. It's, you know, I know you guys know what's happening, and I know, like, and I want to kind of give you an update. So here's the thing. Let's just start with when we got here. When we got here, let me tell you about I'm going to tell you about some of the things that have happened since we've been here, and not all of them are going to be about Bob's surgery, because some of it's going to be about me, okay? And one of the things that it's going to be about is the first night that we stayed here. Yeah. Okay. I honestly think I have royal blood in me, and we just don't know about it. I'm trying to figure out who I belong to, because, like, I'm straight up princess when it comes to mattresses. I, like, Meghan Markle, whatever your name is, move over, because I need a soft mattress. Like, I was telling my friend, I was like, I would not have made it as a caveman, because, like, a hard mattress, no, it needs to be, like, straight up cloud quality in order for me to sleep on it. And the mattresses here are atrocious. It's like sleeping on a rock. And so our first night up here, Bob's only night in the hotel, and my, you know, first night in the hotel, I woke up and I was in so much pain. My shoulder and my back were killing me. I woke up and I started, like, moaning, and I couldn't even, like, roll over to get out of the bed. I felt like a turtle on its back because of how bad my back hurt. And so I had to kind of wiggle a little bit and then stretch out a little bit, and then I finally was able to get out of the bed, and my shoulder was wrecked. It was on fire. I thank God, right before I said to Bob, get me out of this house before I pack everything, like I'm literally gonna pack up the entire house, I grabbed the bottle of Tylenol, like, and so I grabbed that, and I took a few of them. And Bob heard me get up, and I was like, oh my God, this mattress is killing me. And I took, okay, so my daughter for Christmas, she got me this thing that literally makes me look like a pink Eskimo. It's this huge, heavy, thick, woolly, like, robe, like, sleeping bag with a hood and sleeves. It is like, it is heavy, it's monstrous. I can't wear it, like, walking around the house or anything. I tried that, and I start sweating in it because it's just so warm and heavy. I can't diamond paint in it because the sleeves are so heavy or so thick. that they get in the way. So I call it my fupa. And I sleep in it at night sometimes when, like if Bob's at work and I just want to feel like extra snuggly. Or, so I brought it with me because I was like, oh, you know, this will make me feel, it'll comfort me because I don't have my dog, that I miss her like so terribly. And so I thought the fupa would make me feel super comfy and comfort me. So I brought that, and I had to lay that out on the mattress to lay down on it because my hips and my back were killing me. The mattress literally felt like a rock to me. And Bob's like, oh, I think it's comfortable. Well, you know, so he falls asleep like right after the conversation. I'm like, this thing is killing me. My shoulder's hurting me. Next thing I know, I hear him snoring, and I'm just laying there, like trying to get comfortable, like wanting to cry. And so I'm like, Bob, and he's like, Kimba, I need to get sleep. I need to be rested for tomorrow. This is so horrible. This is so horrible. I was like, you need to be rested. You're going to be sleeping all day. I'm the one that needs sleep. Oh my God. That was so, I was like, I literally deserve to be sleeping on a rock. I told you, hard mattresses, straight up princess. And he just like sucked his teeth and was like rolling his eyes at me, but I was just like, I can't sleep here. So anyway, so obviously the next day I woke up, my shoulder was killing me. And I hadn't had that kind of pain since pretty much since like a few days after he gave me the steroid shot. And you know, we pack up, we go to the hospital, and so we get there very early, and the surgeon comes down, and he comes in and he talks to us. And Bob had a CAT scan of the tumor on the Friday before, and he said he just wanted another one just to see it again, visualize it before he goes in. And he comes in and he's like, man, that CAT scan was perfection. He said, I could see the tumor, completely see the tumor. And he said that it was 1.9 centimeters. So just a little recap. If the tumor was 2.0 or greater, then it would be nationally, automatically, it needs to come out of your body, or it could metastasize to other organs. The last time it was measured was in January, and it was measured at 1.7. And so, you know, he told us that we could opt to do surveillance, or we could opt to have it removed. And we are both like, we don't want to wait. And I said to him, I was concerned because part of it was probably removed and we didn't know how much and everything. And so we were both like, no, we don't want to wait. We don't want to take the risk of it spreading. And so, you know, he was basically telling us it's a good thing that you guys chose to do this because it's grown since January by 0.2 centimeters. So he's got less than a month before it hits 2 anyway. But what was my point? Oh, so he says to us, so what my husband had was a Whipple. If you don't know what a Whipple is, it's an extremely extensive surgery that involves the gallbladder, which he doesn't have. It was removed during the first surgery. removal of the head of the pancreas, removal of a bile duct, removal of part of the stomach, and removal of part of your intestine. And then all of that has to be rerouted and sutured together, right? So there's multiple sutures, there's multiple reconnections, and every single one of those reconnections, you have the risk of it leaking. And if any of them leak, then it's an issue. So it used to be a highly, highly risky surgery. When I first started nursing, you know, it seemed like more of them went bad than went good, but things have advanced, thank God, since then. You know, I've been in nursing for 15 years. And the more that a surgeon does Whipples, the you know, obviously the better it is. And this surgeon, he is a pancreatic specialist. Like, so he says that he normally schedules 2 Whipples a day because he can do them in 3.5 hours. But he did not schedule a second Whipple on the day of Bob's surgery because he said, because another surgeon was in there and he had so many complications during the first surgery, he knows he's going to have, it's going to be more complex. There's going to be a lot of scar tissue. And so he anticipates it being longer. And they were very, they had made sure they said multiple times, like, it takes as long as it takes. We're done when we're done. So, like, we're not going to, and he said to me, I'm going to take my time. I have no other surgery scheduled after this. I'm taking my time. We're going to go slow. And, you know, so I just know it's going to take longer. And he said, I booked the OR for 5 hours. So he anticipated what normally takes him 3.5 hours to do. He anticipated it to take him up to 5 hours. Okay. I said, okay. I go out into the waiting room. And then he said to me, you know, when he's done, he goes into recovery. And that's where they'll recover him, wake him up, remove the breathing tube, and you're not allowed in recovery. You're not allowed to come back into recovery. You know, so, and he will be in recovery for a minimum of 2 hours. Okay. So he said basically, like, anticipate to see him around in about, you know, most likely 7 hours or so. I said, okay. So he's like, are you going to stay here? Or do you want me to call you? And I said, no, I'll be here. So I packed the little angels, and I packed, because it was not kitted up, and I packed, you know, the case that I packed. Actually, I kitted it up in my pig case, guys. So I used that case for the first time. So I had that. I had my my decorative diamond painting tree boxes, the 2 that I didn't finish. I brought those 2. I was like, oh, I could do these 2. And so that's what I had with me. And numerous other items. I had this fairly large tote bag that I was carrying. And then for some reason, I brought a purse. Like, I don't know. And so I go out into the waiting room and I get settled. I actually brought a memory foam neck pillow. So if I wanted to, like, close my eyes, like for an airplane, to hold my neck up. I could do that. And yeah. And I didn't bring any food. I figured if I got hungry, I'll just, buy stuff there. They did have a Starbucks, and so I go and I get settled. I did not, and then as soon as I pick out my chair, I sit down. I didn't pull anything out yet, but I sit down and, I get comfy or whatever. I decide that I have to go to the bathroom. and then I was like, okay, so this is going to be the most annoying part of being here alone, is that I'm never going to be able to leave my bag alone. Like, I'm going to have to, either pack everything up and bring it with me, or, take a risk of leaving my bag there. And and also, there were only so many chairs. So then I was like, oh, what if I lose my space? And, and I don't want to, I want a table, because I was sitting at a table so that I could diamond paint or kit up, because I was going to pull all the stuff out to kit up. So I ended up leaving like my jacket and something else, and then like a drink on the table. I had a energy drink that I had packed. I put that on the table. So, and then I went to the bathroom and got settled again and kitted up. And let me tell you, my shoulder was, I think today is the first day that I wasn't in a lot of pain from it. It was horrible. I actually had to, at one point, I just was like, I'm just going to lose my table. It is what it is. And I had to go down to the gift shop and to get some ibuprofen. And that's another thing. Like, I had to tote around this huge heavy tote with me everywhere, and my purse, and my shoulder was killing me. So I went down to the gift shop and I was like, oh, do you guys have Bengay? And she's like, no, we don't sell Bengay. You should try the retail pharmacy. It's right down. They have like a retail pharmacy here. And so she told me where to go. And I went in there and I got some Bengay, and I got ibuprofen. And when I went back upstairs, I found another table, and I put that on my shoulder, and whew, what a difference. Like, I literally couldn't, I pulled the tree box out and I started to try to diamond paint it a little bit, but my shoulder was killing me so bad that I could not, I couldn't do anything. Like, all I could do was sit there, and I kept rubbing it. And so anyway, they took him back at 9 o'clock. So what is that? 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, right? So I was expecting to hear something around 2:30, maybe 3, because they said, if they take him back at 9, they still have to prep him and everything. But remember, he booked the OR for 5 hours, so not 6. You know what I mean? So but I was still like, okay, maybe 3. So 3 o'clock comes, Well, 2 o'clock comes, nothing. 3 o'clock comes, nothing. 4 o'clock comes, nothing. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like, I keep getting up. I keep going over to the board because you could see on the board the surgeon's name, and then Bob had a number, you know, because of patient information. And I could see he was in operating room 1, and his name was green, which meant that he was still in there. And so, you know, 4 o'clock I go over, and then I'm like, I'm getting really nervous, and I'm just like, what is going on? Why is this taking so much longer? Because, you know, now we're at 7 hours, right? 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4:22, the nurse calls me. At 4:22, the nurse from the OR calls me. And she's like, hi, this is blah, blah, blah from the, I'm the OR nurse. Dr. blah, blah, blah just wanted me to call you and let you know that everything's going okay. And they're finishing up now. And it's just going to be a couple more hours. So I say, a couple more hours in the OR, or a couple more hours because he's going to recovery? And she's like, no, a couple more hours in the OR. And I was like, okay, all right, thank you. And I honestly, that was not the time to like ask questions and like, you know, investigate or whatever, because honestly, like, I know she's calling from the phone in the OR, so I know doctor or the surgeon can hear the conversation, and I didn't want him to think I was being impatient, or that I, you know, was like, you know, what the heck's taking so long, or, you know, that I was ungrateful, or, you know, I didn't want to stress him out. Like, he's still operating. So, you know, it is what it is. Like, they made it very clear, you know, it's done when it's done. And he told me I'm going to take my time. And so I just was like, okay, well, that was 4:22, right? I said 4:22. 5:22 comes, 6:22 comes. And I'm like, okay, so it should be any minute now. 7 o'clock comes. 7:22 comes. And now I'm like, I'm on the phone. First I'm talking to my brother, and I'm just like, I'm so nervous. I don't know what's going on. Like, I was just like, I don't know what's going on. I haven't heard anything. I don't know why it's taking so long. I was really upset. And, you know, 7:22, so 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? And then my son calls me to see, you know, to talk to me, and all of a sudden, here comes the surgeon. He comes out, and I can see Bob's number is still green. So I was not expecting him. Like, I jumped up. I was like, I gotta go. I hung up on my son. I dropped my earbuds. Like, I was eating pretzels because at that point I hadn't eaten anything all day, and I had to get something from the vending because my blood sugar started to drop, and I was shaking and sweating, and I just looked a hot mess. And he's like, you know, follow me, and he walks into the family consult room, and you know, I'm like trying to like grab everything and find my earbuds on the floor. Like, I was just a hot mess. And so I run in there and I sit down and he closes the door. And he's like, so he looks at me and he's like, well, that took a lot longer than I expected. And I said, I see that. And he said, but the tumor's out. And I was like, oh, thank God. And okay, I'm not going to tell you what he said because I'm going to tell you this. I think he regrets saying what he said because he was very emotionally charged. He just spent 10 hours fixing my husband. And he was upset. And he looked at me and he said something along the lines of, of how bad the first surgery was. And that the reason why it took 10 hours was because of the mess he found from the first surgeon. I know this was against his nature to like essentially almost, bad mouthing another surgeon, but he was very upset. And we found out the next day. Well, let me just tell you, I never saw Bob that night. He said to me, they're still closing him up. I left my assistant to close him up. And, it was almost 8 o'clock. It was like 7:45 when he came out to me. And he said, visiting hours are over at 8. And he has to go to recovery. And he's going to be there for at least 2 hours, if not 3. And I said to him, so I can't stay. And he said, no. And I said, they won't make an exception even in a case like this. And he was like, no, just go home, go to sleep, and come back in the morning. And so, I left. And I got a call at midnight. I'm looking for my gray tray because you know how I do. When I only have a couple, I like to use, where's my gray tray? I like to use the gray tray when I only have a couple because, well, number one, I like my gray tray. I don't know where it is. I don't know. I'll just use this one. It's all cracked. So I get a call and it's his nurse. So he didn't even get back to his room until midnight. She's like, I just got your husband. He wasn't sure where you were. And I said, I was sent home by the surgeon. And she's like, okay, he's okay. He just got to his room, So I didn't see him until the next morning, and their visiting hours don't start till 10, and they're very strict about their visiting hours at this hospital. They actually follow them. And so yeah, I got there early, but they made me wait. And if you get there early, they make you wait in the lobby. And then at 10 o'clock, they give you the pass to go up. So, I didn't see him until the next day. That was hard. The whole thing was hard. It was very stressful. But when I got there, he said that the team had already come by. That's another thing. I miss a lot of the doctors. Just because of the visiting hours. And but they do come throughout the day. I don't see the main, I've only seen the main surgeon once since the surgery, but like his team comes and sees him like 4 times a day. So I do see other doctors throughout the day, and they update me and stuff like that. So it's not, this hospital is amazing. Like, I'm just blown away by everything about how clean it is, just everything. Anyway, so that's another story. Bob told me how when they came and saw him that morning, it was not the main surgeon, but it was his partner. And his partner told Bob, yeah, we wanted to abort the surgery because of how bad everything was inside from your first surgeon. But the main surgeon was adamant and very persistent that we keep moving forward. So because of him, they didn't stop. If he wasn't there, Bob would still have the tumor, which honestly, like, just thinking about that makes me want to cry. So just realizing like how amazing this guy is. But anyway, so that's why he kept saying to me, you know, tumor's out, the tumor's out. He went in there to do a job, and he did it. So we are in recovery. It's been, some of it's been very good, and some of it has been very hard. And yeah, that's where we're at. So we are moving along, and I will tell you guys all about the recovery part of it and like everything that we've been going through in another weapon chat. But I'm just gonna say that, you know, they keep telling us like clinically, like surgically wise, everything is good. So that's the blessing. But now I'm going to tell you about the crap that I've been going through. So when we first get here, I was too tired. Like, I drove up here. I packed all day long and washed clothes and did all these things because I don't know if you remember, but I had worked like a bunch of overtime right before we left. And so like all the things that I should have been doing on Friday, I couldn't because I worked overtime. So I had to do all those things on Saturday and Sunday. And yeah, I was very tired. So when we got up here, I was like, I am not cooking. Even though we brought food, I was like, I'm not cooking food. I'm going to order like Uber Eats or something, you know. And he didn't want any. He could still eat. Like, we weren't, you know, he could eat till midnight, but he didn't want any like of that kind of junky food. And so he just wanted like soup or something like that. But I ordered a big fat double cheeseburger. I ordered from this place called Habit Burger. I've never had it before, and so I ordered that. I ordered a combo, with a soda, and it comes with fries, and then I ordered a side of onion rings on top of it. And when it got here, it was missing my fries. So I was like really annoyed. I'm like, whatever. So then that night that I was sent home, the night of his surgery, I stopped at Target on the way home, and I picked up a mattress topper, a twin size mattress topper for the mattress. And yeah, it was only $40 or something like that. And thank God I did, because it made all the difference in the world. I can sleep on it. I mean, it's still not like as comfortable as my bed, but it's not like killing me. But it took like 5 days, 6 days for my shoulder to stop hurting. And so I stopped at Target. I got that, and then I stopped at Wendy's, and I was like, I just want like some chili and a baked potato. So I ordered chili and a baked potato. I go to the window, and the guy is like, what number? And I said, order number 28. And he's like, the chili? And I said, yes. So he hands me a bag. I hand him, I pay for it. He hands me a bag. I take off. I get home, and I do all this stuff to get ready for bed. I do everything before I eat. I unpack. I do all these things. And I grab a spoon, and I sit down to eat, and I open up the bag, and there's 3 cheeseburgers inside. Oh my God, I was looking so forward to this chili and baked potato, and I had 3 cheeseburgers. I mean, and one of them had nothing but lettuce, and one of them had lettuce and mustard, and the last one had like everything on it, but I didn't even open it until I ate one hamburger I doubled the patty up, and then I threw everything away. And I don't even I don't live here, so I don't even have ketchup. Like, I had nothing. I was so pissed. So yeah, then I go back to when I was so then the next day, let me get this right. The next day, I buy food from another place. I don't even know why Bob and I went food shopping. I get Chipotle. It's like, I want a big fat burrito. And so I find this Chipotle on my way home. And I find, what do I find? When I pull up, they have this cookie place called Crumble. Has anybody ever heard of Crumble? If you haven't, I'm going to put some pictures of their cookies here. I've been seeing them on Instagram for a while now, but I've never actually had their cookies before. So I pull up to the Chipotle, and in the strip mall, like just 2 storefronts down, is this Crumble. And I'm like, oh my God, it's fate. Like, so I go and I get my burrito, and then I go over to get Crumble, and I go up to it had a kiosk. So I go up to the kiosk, and when you open it up, it's like, they're like, do you want 2 cookies? Do you want 1 cookie? No, it was like 1 cookie, 4 cookies, 6 cookies, or something like that. So I was like, let me get the 4 cookie box. So I click on the 4 cookie box, and then all the cookies come up, and you get to pick which ones you want. So I picked all vanilla cookies because I just like vanilla cake and stuff better. I really have to be in the mood for, like, I love chocolate, but when it comes to like cakey things, I'm vanilla all the way. ice cream, pudding. I don't know why. But anyway, so I pick 4 vanilla cookies. And I pay for it. And then she calls me up. And when she calls me up, she puts the box in and she opens it to present the 4 cookies for me. And I'm looking at it and she's like, and she could see my face. I'm confused. And she's like, is this your box? And right in the middle is a big fat chocolate cookie with a huge caramel piece on it. And I'm just like, I don't think so. And she's like, no. And I'm like, I mean, I guess I could have pressed the wrong button, but I'm pretty sure I ordered 4 vanilla cookies. And so she's like, let me go check your ticket. And she goes back and she comes back. She's like, you were right. And she had like the 4th vanilla cookie in there. I'm like, geez, oh man. I mean, everybody's trying to ruin my food. Oh, and the reason why I went to Chipotle, I said to Bob's like, what are you going to get for dinner tonight? I said Chipotle. And he's like, you trust somebody to make your food again? I said, well, that's why I'm getting Chipotle, because I'm going in there and I'm going to point and I'm going to watch them put that on my tortilla, because I am not trusting anybody to make my food. And yeah, then I go over and I almost get the wrong cookie. You know what? I so regret talking shit about 2023, because I feel like it's mad at me now. I'm sorry. I mean, I was just like, I called you out, and like, we can stop now. We can stop now. But yeah, so that's where I've been. And I've been working on my Chuck Pinson. Yeah, a little early, but you know, I don't go for prizes. And I've been wanting to do this Chuck Pinson. So I can tell you right now that these symbols are, some of these symbols are harder to see. I mean, you see me working on it, and I'm choosing symbols that are easy to see. But you saw me turn the light off because I wanted to see if I could see it better with the light off, and I can. I think that if the lighting in here was better, it wouldn't be so bad, but the lighting in here is pretty bad. It doesn't look like it in the camera because you have the light from the light pad. The lighting in here is not good at all. So I know that's part of it. But also part of it is some of the symbols are pretty faded. So there's that. But, oh, and so it just is. I'm sorry if this is like a weird angle, but I don't know. I didn't bring the right, I don't know why I brought this. I guess I do know why. This is easier, this phone mount is easier to carry than the other one. So I guess I just grabbed it because I was like, maybe I'll have time, maybe I won't. I don't know. But, oh, the only reason why I am even awake right now is because the first few days there, I was like so tired. When Bob slept, I slept, and Bob slept a lot. Like, he was still on a lot of pain meds. You know, he still had anesthesia in him. So they had this huge couch in his room. And so when he dozed off, I would just curl up and I dozed off. So I was like pretty much sleeping there all day, then leaving there, coming home, showering, taking a shower, eating, and going to sleep. And then going back and doing it all over again. So I was not diamond painting at all while I was there. I was so tired. But what I learned to do is I take an energy drink with me now. And before I was taking an energy drink, but I would drink the whole thing. And then I'd be like bouncing off the walls for like 1 hour. And then I would crash. So what I started doing was, now I just sip it. I just take a sip here and there. The whole time I'm there, I mean, I literally still only drink half a can, and it's just enough like little boost I need to keep me going. So I've been diamond painting and just awake more. So yeah, that's why I think I have energy now too. But all right, guys, I think that's all for tonight. Just wanted to give you a little update and let you know that that Bob is good. Yeah, he's good. You know, he's tumor free. The surgeon said that he removed the lymph nodes around the tumor, and he feels like it's probably going to come back as a minimal risk, and you know, that he should be good after this. But I'll explain more about what he found inside and everything when I talk about his recovery, when we're actually through the recovery, if that makes sense. But yeah, I just wanted to update you guys. And you know, we both, Bob wanted me to tell you guys, everyone who has been thinking about him, thinking about us, praying, giving good vibes, thoughts, prayers, everything, you know, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We appreciate all of them, all of you, all of it. And yeah, so that's where we're at. If you liked this video, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up on the way out. And if you want to hear more from me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join the family and friends here at Kimbaskrafts. I would love to have you. And also, I am going to get back to all the comments. I know I have like not responded to any comments since I've been here. I've just been so tired. Like I haven't been doing anything. But I'm feeling better now. So I will definitely be hitting those comments up. And yeah. All right, guys, take care. Keep diamond painting.